Bittersweet Symphony, the Verve. And I've got a special guest here tonight, someone that I can't remember the last time I talked to her, Beth Schulze Hillard, grew up in Erie. We're going to hear all about where she's at now. We're going to catch up a little bit. Beth was in my daughter's class, and she's no longer in Erie, but she was just in the neighborhood and did something pretty extraordinary. Beth, are you there?
I am. Hello.
I told everybody I remember this kid, but you're a 43-year-old woman now living in Minnesota?
Yeah, in Minneapolis.
When did you move to Minneapolis?
We've been here for 8 years now, and moved here so my husband could go to law school. And we never left.
Well, you're up there where it really gets cold. Beth Schulze Hillard, when's the last time I saw you?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was probably sometime at the track when I was out for a run when I was visiting my folks, but I can't remember. It was many years ago, I think.
Imagine that. I was at the track, and I don't picture you. You reminded me. You used to come over in my neighborhood, play kick the can with a group of neighborhood kids, and I never pictured you as an athlete. And that's what we're going to talk about, what you're doing now. But did you go off for sports in high school?
I did not. I did throw shot put for a couple of years. I golfed for a couple of years, but I was never very. I wouldn't say I would call myself an athlete. I wasn't very good at either one of those things, and so no, I was not athletic in high school or in grade school.
Same here. Neither was I, and we both got into something. You got into running, and when did you get into running?
It was in my late 20s. I think I was probably around 28 when I started running. Said I would never run unless I was being chased by wild animals. And, that nearly came true this summer when I ran my first 100K in the woods in northern Wisconsin.
Your first race was when? This summer?
Oh, no. I just ran a 100K in northern Wisconsin this past summer. So I was being chased potentially by wild animals. So it all came full circle for me.
I just remember you as my daughter's age, and now here you are, 43 years old, into running. I'd say you're totally hooked on running because I just found out what you just did. Was this 2 weeks ago?
A week, just over a week and a half ago.
Yeah, the Hennepin races. Is there a 50K, a 50 mile, and a 100 mile? Is that right?
Correct.
And here you come down from Minnesota and enter the 100 mile race on a hot and windy day.
Yes.
What made you want to do that? I mean, that sounds like something I would do. I found out it was something that I like to do, something to de-stress, and I always found that the longer the distance, the easier it was. Is that crazy or not?
I don't think it's that crazy. I think I never have been really built for speed, but I could go for a really long time, and I think I just kind of have been going. All right, a couple of years ago, I did my first 50K, and then last year I did my first 50 miler. Then this summer I did my first 100K, and then I did my first 100 miler. And I'm hooked on going for running and moving for as long as I can.
Well, you picked a really hot and windy day. It was very difficult. Tell us about this Hennepin 100, and did you have support during the run? How'd it go? Were you dying? Give us the brutal details.
Well, I mean, objectively, it was a beautiful day until you had to actually, be out there for the entire day running 100 miles. I had my mom and dad were my crew. They came out to a bunch of the aid stations. The course is a point-to-point, so there's not a loop. You start in a different location than you finish. So all of the aid stations are along the course, which is along the Hennepin Canal, and it starts in Sterling, Illinois, and it ends in Kelowna, Illinois. And yeah, it was wonderful having my folks out at the aid stations. It was a very hot, very sunny, very windy day, and it was just, it got to be a grind. And so it was really nice to look forward to seeing my mom and dad. They had, extra socks, extra clothes, food, the things that I specifically wanted to have. But then I also was really lucky. I had 3 of my cousins that paced me in the middle of the night, and then at the very end of the run. And so I wasn't out there by myself in the dark. I had somebody to chat with and to keep me kind of motivated and moving along. It was...
I'm sorry. That really helps. Who were those 3 people?
Abby Temple, Nick Young, and Ariel Young.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to think if all 3 are a couple of them are from Erie, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ariel lives in Erie with her husband Cole,
yep.
Who graduated, went to school in Erie. And then my cousin Abby Temple married to Scott Temple. Scott also grew up in Erie as well. And then Nick Young, who moved back, he's in Morrison now, but he also graduated from Erie.
Okay, it really helps to have somebody. It was a beautiful day, but not conducive to a 100-mile race. How long were you on the course?
27 hours and just under 17 minutes.
Did you have a target time, or was it just see what happens?
Well, earlier in the summer, I thought that I was going to really push for a sub 24 hour. That would have been really amazing. But about a month ahead of the race, I got COVID. So training kind of got stalled out a little bit there. And also then with the temperatures, with it getting up to, I think the high temperature was 88.
Yeah, it was hot.
On Saturday. And so it just was not, the stars did not align for that. So I was happy to finish my first 100-miler.
Did you think about quitting?
A couple of times I entertained the idea, but, the thought comes into your head, and I never got to the point where I was really willing to even really fully consider quitting. I thought about it a couple of times, and then I kind of packaged that thought up, put it in a box, and put it on the shelf. I let that thought go because I just was really not interested in not finishing. I needed to finish that 100-miler.
Because there's nothing like a good suffer fest, right?
Right.
That's the license plate on my truck. I tell you what, it's one of my favorite sayings is it's 90% mental and the other 10% is mental too. I know it takes a lot of conditioning. It just blows me away that you did this. So, I need inspiration. Now I'm drawing inspiration from you. How's that sound?
Sounds great. I really do. I really think it's something that if you want to do it, I think anybody can do this. I think really it takes the time to put into the training, and it takes really just the mental toughness to get it done. And I really do think it's something attainable for most people.
A lot of it is time. I remember the great marathoner Bill Rogers saying, anybody that's got to work a full-time job will never beat me. Saying, he's just saying it's hard to get all that kind of training in. And another thing, I think most people have no idea what they're really capable of until they try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of great athletes out there that never knew they were athletes. So lots of times when these records get broke by somebody you don't even know, I think there's lots of records yet to be broke, but people just don't know they're good at it. Hey, a couple of questions. What kind of shoes do you wear?
This race I wore Topo Athletic Atmos shoes.
I don't even know what those are. That's how long I've been out of it. I wear the same old thing that I was wearing, 20, 30 years ago. And I know running shoes have come a long way.
Yeah, and these have a nice wide toe box, and I really like them. However, I had some issues with blisters, so I can't promise that'll be the next shoe that I wear.
All right. I tell you what, I've been out there for 27 hours, and I was so destroyed in a 100-mile race that I didn't know was going to be mountains and streams and everything else, that I was actually pulled off a course, and I was so mentally destroyed. I mean, I was crushed. So I know the feeling of being out there that long. You can't hardly take enough energy in. It's all willpower. So one of my other favorite sayings is, it never always gets worse. It seems like it's at a point, and I'm sure at about 80 miles, facing 20 more miles, it had to have been really tough. And
definitely.
I'm proud of you for pushing through. Beth, I told you that I was going to ask you about your tattoos. The last time I saw you, you had a lot of tattoos, and I told someone that anybody with that many tattoos, you're carrying around an extra pound of ink. That slowed you down. That cost you at least an hour in the race.
You think an hour, huh? Man.
Not really. Maybe a couple of minutes. But the next time you're in Erie, you're going to have to look me up, and we're going to have to chat. Come up here to the restaurant and talk about what you're up to. Do you have any other races in the books, plans?
I'm actually eyeballing the Mines of Spain race in Dubuque. It happens the third week in October, so it's happening this weekend. But I'm looking at that for next year for a possible 100-miler.
All right. Well, you live in a tough climate where it's tough to train in the wintertime. Are you going to keep training right through the good, bad, and ugly coming up?
I'm going to do my best. I'm not a big cold weather fan, but I am going to try to get out as much as I can, and at least get those maintenance miles in for the winter.
You're like me. You need your fix, right?
Yes. It does genuinely. I have not run since the 100-miler. I'm planning to run tomorrow, and I could not be more excited about it.
Right. Yeah, you really do miss it once you get away from it. And it's kind of funny. You and I, we really don't like the cold, and look where we live.
Yeah. Bad choices.
So you did really good on an 88-degree day. And tell me again, that started at 7 in the morning?
Yep, 7 a.m.
And so you rolled in right around midnight. I don't know. I didn't even do the math on that. I just threw that out there.
No, it was the next morning. So
that's right.
So 10 a.m. Is that right? Around 10 a.m.
Oh, I don't know, but whatever it was a long. It was 27 hours. Let's just say it was 27 hours. So running through the night can get difficult. So I'm always impressed by people that can go beyond themselves. And when somebody told me you did this, yeah, bingo. I knew you had to call in. I actually called your dad today and say, did she tell you? Because I thought maybe you would say, not even tell him, because you said you were a little apprehensive about calling in.
I was a little bit. I did tell a few people to tune in and send them a link to listen to it online. So there are a few people probably listening.
Well, I'm always looking for inspiration, and now I'm an old guy looking for inspiration, and you're giving me inspiration. I'm not sure if I could handle shoveling that track this winter. I might need you to come down here and give me a hand.
I will do that if I can, Tim.
All right. Well, any other shout-outs? Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so, other than just, if ultra running is something that you're interested in, don't think that you can't do it, because you can.
Don't be scared of it.
Yeah. I want to encourage people to get out there and try it. You might just find your passion.
you might get hooked on it, and you might not know that you're actually quite good at it. So start slow and take it easy and ease into it, just like you and I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a song queued up just for you. Did you know that? Hey,
What song?
I got Gonna Fly Now, but it's the Maynard Ferguson edition. A little jazzy, rocky music coming up just for you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks again. Don't be a stranger. Keep us posted on what you're doing, and maybe I'll show up at that next race.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim.
I'll crew for you. Thanks again for taking the time to call in.
Yep.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye now.